Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Varada Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavavrinda ki jai. Antara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories. Shri Guru Gauranga Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today morning we're reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, chapter number 10. We're starting a new chapter number 10, entitled Prahlada, the best among exalted devotees. Text 1. So we'll read the summary introduction to the chapter. This chapter describes how the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narasimha disappeared after pleasing Prahlad Maharaj. It also describes a benediction given by Lord Shiva. Lord Narasimha wanted to bestow benediction upon Prahlad Maharaj one after another. But Prahlad Maharaj, thinking them impediment on the path of spiritual progress, did not accept any of them. Instead, he fully surrendered at the Lord's lotus feet. He said, if anyone engaged in the devotional service of the Lord prays for personal sense gratification, he cannot be called a pure devotee or even a devotee. He may be called only a merchant engaged in the business of give and take. Similarly, a master who wants to please his servant after taking service from him is also not a real master. Prahlad Maharaj therefore did not ask anything from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Rather, he said that if the Lord wanted to give him a benediction, he wanted the Lord to assure him that he would never be induced to take any benedictions for the sake of material desires. Exchanges of devotional service for a lusty desire are always very prominent. As soon as lusty desires awakens, one's senses, mind, life, soul, religious principle, patience, intelligence, shyness, beauty, strength, memory, and truthfulness are all vanquished. One can render unalloyed devotional service only when there are no material desires in one's mind. The Supreme Personality of Godhead was greatly pleased with Prahlad Maharaj for his unalloyed devotion. Yet the Lord provided him one material benediction, that he would be perfectly happy in this world, live his next life in Vaikuntha. The Lord gave him the benediction that he would be the king of this material world until the end of the Manvantara millennium, and that although in this material world he would have the facility to hear the glories of the Lord and depend fully on the Lord, performing services to him in uncontaminated bhakti yoga. The Lord advised Prahlad to perform sacrifice through bhakti yoga, for this is the duty of a king. Prahlad Maharaj accepted whatever the Lord had offered him, and he prayed for the Lord to deliver his father. In response to this prayer, the Lord assured him that in the family of such a pure devotee as he, not only the devotee's father, but his forefathers for 21 generations are liberated. The Lord also asked Prahlad to perform the ritualistic ceremonies appropriate after his father's death. The Lord Brahma, who was also present, offered many prayers to the Lord, expressing his obligation to the Lord for having offered benedictions to Prahlad Maharaj. The Lord advised Lord Brahma not to offer benedictions to Asuras as he had to Hiranyakashipu, for such benediction indulged them. Then Lord Narasimha disappeared. On that day, Prahlad Maharaj was installed on the throne of the world by Lord Brahma and Śukracharya. Thus, Narada Muni described the character of Prahlad Maharaj for Yudhishthira Maharaj, and he further described the killing of Ravana by Lord Ramachandra and the killing of Sisupal and Dantavakra in the Dwapara Yuga. Sisupal, of course, had merged into the existence of the Lord and thus achieved Sayujya Mukti. Narada Muni praised Yudhishthira Maharaj because the Supreme Lord Krishna was the greatest well-wisher and friend of the Pandavas and almost always stayed in their house. Thus the fortune of the Pandavas was greater than that of Prahlad Maharaj. Later, Narada Muni described how the demon Maya Danava constructed Tripura for the demons, who became very powerful and defeated the demigods. Because of this defeat, Lord Rudra Shiva dismantled Tripura. Thus he became famous as Tripurari. For this, Rudra is very much appreciated and worshipped by the demigods. This narration occurs at the end of the chapter. Text 1. Shri Narada Vacha Bhakti Yogasya Tat Sarvam Antarayatayar Bhakka Manyamano Rishikesham Smayamana Vachaha. Shri Narada Vacha Bhakti Yogasya Tat Sarvam Antarayata Arbaka Manyamano Rishikesham Smayamana Vacha. Shri Narada Vacha Bhakti Yogasya Tat Sarvam Antarayata Yarbaka Manyamano Rishikesham Smayamana Vachaha. Okay. Shri Narada Vacha Bhakti Yogasya Tat Sarvam Antarayata Arbaka Manyamano Rishikesham Smayamana Vacha. Shri Narada Vacha Bhakti Yogasya Tat Sarvam Antarayata Yarbaka Manyamano Rishikesham Smayamana Vacha. Shri Narada Vacha Bhakti Yogasya Tat Sarvam Antarayata Yarbaka Manyamano Rishikesham Smayamano Vachaha. Mataji's. Shri Narada Vacha Bhakti Yogasya Tat Sarvam Antarayata Yarbaka Manyamano Rishikesham Smayamana Vachaha. Shri Narada Vacha Bhakti Yogasya Tat Sarvam Antaraya Yarbaka Manyamano Rishikesham Smayamana Vachaha. Shri Narada Vacha Narada Muni said, Bhakti Yogasya of the principles of devotional service. that those blessings or benedictions offered by Lord Narasimhadev, Sarvam, each and every one of them, Antarayataya, because of being impediments on the path of Bhakti Yoga. Arbakaha, Prahlad Maharaj, although only a boy. Manyamanaha, considering Rishikesham unto Lord Narasimhadev. Smayamanaha, smiling. Uvacha, said. In the past. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. The saint Narada Muni continued, although Prahlad Maharaj was only a boy, when he heard the benedictions offered by Lord Narasimhadev, he considered them impediments on the path of devotional service. Thus he smiled very mildly and spoke as follows. Purport. Material achievements are not the ultimate goal of devotional service. The ultimate goal of devotional service is love of Godhead. Therefore, although Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Ambrish Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj and many devotee kings were materially very opulent, they accepted their material opulence in the service of the Lord, not for their personal sense gratification. Of course, possessing material opulence is always fearful because under the influence of material opulence, one may be misdirected from devotional service. Nonetheless, a pure devotee, Anya Abhilashita Shunyam, is never misdirected by material opulence. On the contrary, whatever he possesses, he engages 100% in the service of the Lord. When one is allured by material possessions, they are considered to be given by Maya. But when one uses material possession fully for service, they are considered God's gift or facilities offered by Krishna for enhancing one's devotional service. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakya Sakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrijatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitam Shah He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shirade Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudadevi Pranamami Haripriye Pancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namile Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Seeking the blessing of all assembled Vaishnavas, I speak from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam for my own purification. So Prahlad, the best among exalted devotees, the new chapter. There is a text. The saint Narada Muni continued, although Prahlad Maharaj was only a boy, what is that? Arbakaha, a small boy. When he heard the benedictions offered by Lord Narasimhadev, he considered them impediments. Antarayataya. Tat sarvam antarayataya. That whatever the Lord gave, that everything, benedictions, that everything, each and every one of them is what? impediments. For what? To Bhakti Yoga. He considered them impediments on the path of Bhakti Yoga. Thus he smiled very mildly and spoke. Smayamana. Why Prahlad Maharaj smiled? The Acharya is saying that Prahlad Maharaj smiled because he understood that the task, the test of the Lord is testing. Who, if you see that everything belongs to the Lord, we don't own anything. It's the Isha Vasyam principle, right? Everything owned and controlled by the Supreme Lord. But we have given a quota. Right? Everyone have a quota. But that also allotted by the Lord. So the Lord is giving more. Okay, take. A pure devotee is saying, no, that is an impediment in the path of devotional service. What benediction the Lord gave? Narasimhadev. Narasimhadev said, okay, you're going to live happily in this material world, you're going to live long, till the end of the millennium. That's a long period. You're going to live long. Same with Dhruva Maharaj also. He ruled, I think, 36,000 years or something. The Lord said, okay, Dhruva, even though you don't want now, but initially you came to me because you want a kingdom bigger than your great-grandfather. I've given you a planet, pole star, take it, rule it, enjoy, be merry and come. Right? You can be happy in this world and the next world. Where did Bhagavad Gita say about someone who will not be happy in this world and next world? Anyone know? Huh? No? Bhagavad Gita talks about three kinds of people, right? Ignorant, faithless and doubters. For the doubting soul, there is no happiness in this world and the next. Foolish can be happy because he is not disturbed. Yeah. Faithless means, he has many knowledge. He got the knowledge of many scriptures and many things, but he doesn't have put the faith in it. But the doubters, they don't go anywhere because they're doubting everything. So Krishna is saying, for the doubtful soul, there is no happiness in this world and the next world. So here, Prahlad Maharaj is given the benediction, but then Prahlad Maharaj is saying, oh, this benediction is an impediment in the path of spiritual progress. So, if you see the purpose, material achievement are not the ultimate goal of devotional service. What is the goal of devotional service? So, material achievement are not the ultimate goal of devotional service. So, when if you see Karma Mishra, Yoga Mishra, or Jnana Mishra Bhakti, they have a different goal to achieve. One wants to get more opulence, one wants to get more material comfort, live a life, maybe the maximum is attain heavenly planets. And the second one wants to merge into the existence of Brahman, which is a jnana. And the third is he wants to perform magic feats. Right? He want to show off some magic. So these are all not the goal. So Prabhupada actually write in Nectar of Instruction one line, which is I liked very line. He says, Bhakti is not a sentimental speculation nor an imaginative ecstasy. Bhakti is practical activity full of substance. So this is a very powerful opening where Prabhupada gives verse number 3. Items which is favorable in performance of devotional service. So we need to know what is devotional service. Then only we can able to advance in devotional service. If we don't know what is devotional service, then our desire, our achievement, our goal, here we say, as Prabhupada is saying, material achievement are not the ultimate goal of devotional service. So in order to know what is the goal of devotional service, one has to know what is devotional service. What are the angas of devotional service? The acharyas, the three powerful things of a devotee. I think the water which is washed the feet of a devotee, the dust which is touched by the devotee, and the remnants which is given by the devotee. And the fourth thing is, there's a fourth one, which is the literature is given by the Goswamis. These are the most powerful thing a devotee, like we can access to. So if you see most of the scriptures or emphasis, the Goswamis written scriptures are given all about devotional service. So always get fascinated by this, that in order to, for example, when a person in love with someone, it's very difficult to put in words. Like if you love someone or something, it's not able to express that love very like a black and white thing. Many people say, oh, it's very difficult to, and like the experience which we have when we have some kind of experience, we can't able to put. But then if you see the nectar of devotion or instruction or something, the love of Godhead, which is very much high, it's presented in a systematic, very we can able to analyze, or we can able to see ourselves where we are, which is definitely amazing if you really see. He has compared the ocean, the devotional service or the bhakti as an ocean, and then he divides the ocean, he gives the waves, he gives the segment. So it's like mind-blowing, because how can you explain something which you can't explain in words, and also give it to someone who can also take it and assess themselves where they are and in progress. So that's something which is amazing, because even other bona fide sampradayas, other scripture, other people also uses nectar of devotion, Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu, to analyze their bhakti. So such a potent way of explaining what is devotional service. And then on top of that, when Prabhupada gave the nectar of devotion, the summary study of Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu, which is like the condensed version of how one can able to perform sadhana bhakti. So one should know what is devotional service. And here he says, material achievement are not the ultimate goal of devotional service. So then what is the goal of devotional service? So Prabhupada immediately writes, the ultimate goal of devotional service is love of Godhead. So ultimate goal is to achieve prema. Therefore, Prabhupada writes in the purport, and also we see in the past stories, all the Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Ambarish Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Parishit Maharaj, we can go on. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna gives the example of Raja Rishis. I have given this to Sun God, I have given this to Ishwaku, Manu, and I am giving to you who are also a king, who are also, qualified. Even though they are great king, but they accepted their material opulence in the service of Lord, not for their personal sense gratification. This is nothing but practical application of bhakti. So when devotional service, or when you engage the senses in the service of God or Krishna, or when you have material opulence or whatever you have. So Prabhupada gives the example of dictaphone, typewriter. We use everything in the service of Krishna. because everything belongs to Krishna. That is a real renunciation, yukta vairagyam. So here we see the kings are representative, or the king is the personification of material opulence and sense gratification. Materialistic person means who is interested in sense gratification and material opulence. But both are considered an impediment in devotional service. So this is a verse from Bhagavad Gita. What is a verse which says impediments in bhakti? Which verse in Bhagavad Gita is saying that material opulence and sense gratification are impediments to bhakti? Bhoga Aishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Pratachetasam Vyavasatmika Buddhi Samodo na Vidyate. In the minds of those who are attached to sense enjoyment and material opulence and who are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service to the Supreme Lord does not take place. So if you see here in the introduction, here we see read, as soon as lusty desires awaken, one's senses, mind, life, soul, religious principle, patience, intelligence, shyness, beauty, strength, memory and truthfulness are all vanquished. So here, material opulence and sense gratification are the greatest impediments. That these two things will stop you in progress. If it is. Why? Because, see, material opulence, we are not against material opulence. If someone giving money, we don't say, oh, this is Maya. Prabhupada said, take a picture. I will take every money, whatever you have. Right? But if that material opulence make one forgetful of Krishna, then that is a problem. It all boils down to, okay, fine. If you are running after material opulence, we don't have time to chant. We don't have time to read. We don't have time to read Prabhupada books or hear lecture. Too busy. Why? Because our mind is always thinking of material opulence. This material opulence and sense gratification are nothing but two sides of the same coin. Suppose if one attached to material opulence, then he will endeavor for sense gratification. If he is attached to sense gratification, then he will endeavor for material opulence. Right? Because with material opulence, you can do sense gratification. In order to do sense gratification, you need material opulence. So both has to be avoided. Why in place we are entangled? It's simple. Because we want it. We want sense gratification. We want material opulence. So Krishna fulfilled that. Easy, simple. So Krishna is here, such a great devotee, a pure devotee, Prahlad Maharaj, even though Prahlad Maharaj doesn't want, but still Krishna gives. Prahlad, here is the kingdom, here is the opulence, here is everything, you be. So Krishna test. So even we also go through, Krishna also give you, Krishna gives everything. Here the sense gratification, wealth and women or the opposite sex, which is the obstacle in any devotee. Attachment to opposite sex and endeavoring for wealth. So Krishna gives that. Why? Because Krishna tests or puts in front of us as a choice what we wanted. Do you really want pure devotional service? Do you really want devotional service? So see, devotional service is a very rare commodity. So Prabhupada always says, it's like a diamond. You don't see many customers for diamond. For other metal, yes, very valuable diamond. Suppose you have a store which you sell the topmost quality, like whatever 100 carat or whatever diamond. You will not see rush in the store. You will see very less people, right? So similarly, this devotional service is a very rare commodity. Sudurlabha. Rupa Goswami says. So what we have to desire. But then one question we have to ask here as well. So devotional service is there. Okay, we want sense gratification or material opulence. But do we desire devotional service? That's a question we have to ask. Do we really want to progress in devotional service? Do we pray, I should have developed bhava, I should develop, nishta, prema, I should develop. Because bhakti prayas is not a problem. Like if we endeavor for bhakti, if we endeavor for some spiritual desire, so that we want to see what is our desire. Because Krishna is going to fulfill the desire. If you really want bhakti, really want to desire bhakti, then we should be able to see the weeds. Otherwise these weeds will grow. So there is Prabhupada gives a lecture in this, not in this verse, in the previous verse, which is the last chapter. So Prabhupada explains that a devotee, a pure devotee is, I shall not take any benediction from the Lord, but I shall give everything to God. There is competition. The Lord wants to give the devotee all opulences, and the devotee refuses to accept it. He wants to give his life and soul to the Lord. This is perfection. So Prabhupada gives the example. The gopis, the ideal, the topmost devotee, they gave their everything to Krishna, but they did not ask anything from Krishna. Their honor, their body, their life, everything sacrificed, everything. Therefore Krishna said to the gopis that, I have no power to repay your debt. You be satisfied with your own activity. I cannot give you anything. So this is our benchmark. These are the devotees we can see from Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. They are setting the high standard that a devotee, even in the Pandavas, even though the Pandavas gone through so much of difficulties, we hear from Kunti Maharani, they were poisoned, they were put in the fire, they were attacked by cannibals, by the great warriors. But never was a time you will see a situation where Arjuna or Pandavas are going and asking Krishna, why did you do this to me? After all, I am being a friend to you. After all, we are all family members. We are only thinking about you. Why did that happen to us? Or why did you put in this situation like this? Why don't you stop this? In fact, they ask more, right? So that's, you see the position or the mentality of a devotee, that everything, even Yudhishthira Maharaj exhibit this actually in the 13th, I think, when Dhritarashtra quit home. So Dhritarashtra goes away, Vidura taken away. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, seeing morning he wakes up, he goes to the elders, takes their respect. He goes and he sees missing. Dhritarashtra was not there. What is the wife? Gandhari was not there. And he asked Sanjaya, where are they? And he doesn't know. He is also shocked. Never was a time that his master gone. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, oh, maybe I didn't take care of them properly. Maybe I'm not grateful enough. They have given their, they have taken care nicely of my childhood and everything. I didn't treat them properly. It's because of my mistake. So, everything he thinks that because of him. Arjuna also thinks because of him. War is happening because of him. Problem is happening because of him. Not because of other, not because of the Lord. So, we see a great example before us that how a devotee, actually what he wants from the Lord. So we see ample, amazing stories where the Lord want to serve and the devotee took service from the Lord, or the devotee want to serve And the Lord is eager and the devotee is eager as well. We see many examples. So it all boils down to one factor, that are we desiring pure devotional service? So this whole purport is, Prabhupada gives verse after verse combination and mainly focusing on pure devotional service. So our the desire, most of the time one may say, okay, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want sense gratification, I don't want material opulence, I don't want any material desire. That is one way of praying, which is also, but the positive way is I want develop some real attraction to Krishna. I'm doing this because I need to please Krishna, I need to please the Guru. So in Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada explains this. How does sadhana bring on the manifestation of bhava bhakti? Adhering to the practice of sadhana purifies the heart. Gradually a genuine longing for the Lord's service appears. When executed with genuine longing, sadhana has the potential to awaken bhava bhakti. Devotees who want to make tangible advancement must not allow their sadhana to be desireless and mechanical. They must execute their daily practices with the earning for Krishna's service. See? We are not in the way that I will trying to develop detachment. No, that is an indirect path. Our practices we should develop attachment to Krishna. Our practices are not like we are not like doing like a prevention. Oh, I am doing this sadhana so that I will not develop material desire. No, that is not the right approach. Because you are trying to run away from the reality that you are going to face some material desire, you are going to come across some allurement, some temperament, like development of these weeds. But our sadhana is focused that I should develop attachment to Krishna. That you are genuinely chanting, reading. You should see that is our... So this Kartik, this is a month of devotional service. We are right here, where this is a specified, there's like a right time of the year that we should able to go a little bit deep and trying to understand what I really want. Not trying to do the bare minimum so that I can float. No. This is an ocean. This is an ocean of devotional service. Is so depth. And the great devotees are like compared to the sharks and the big fish. We don't see them on the superficial level. So then we have to see how I am earning, or how my desire, what is my desire of my sadhana? What I want out of my sadhana. So material opulence. So of course, so Prabhupada continued, of course possessing material opulence is always fearful, because under the influence of material opulence one may be misdirected from devotional service. See? Nonetheless, a pure devotee, anya abhilashita shunyam, is never misdirected by material opulence. So here this word is also very interesting, because it's not that he doesn't have material desire, that this anya abhilashita, the verse which is the seed verse of Nectar of Devotion, if you really see, anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam, right? Anukulya Krishna anusilanam bhakti ruttama. This anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam is a secondary characteristics actually. Even there also, what you should avoid, which is not the focus. The focus is that anukulyasya Krishna anusilanam, that you can able to do continuously serve devotional service in a favorable mood to please Krishna, to intend to please Krishna. If you have that, you are eligible. But what about this? Anya abhilashita shunyam. It's not that you should have zero material desire. No, that is, no one can be qualified. The moment we are in the material world means we want to enjoy separate from Krishna, we had some desire separate from Krishna, then we are not eligible. No. This means that his internal motive is not there to enjoy material desire, to cultivate material desire. It is there, but he is not adding more. His motive, his intention is, I am doing devotional service so that I can get whatever list I have, it will fulfill. My PR will come, my job I will get. That is not the desire of devotional service. So that's where it is, a scope is given for everyone to perform devotional service, to get pure devotional service. So a pure devotee who doesn't have a motivation to enjoy material opulence is never misdirected by material opulence, because he sees that everything, whatever he has, in service of Krishna. So on the contrary, whatever he possesses, he engages 100% in the service of Krishna. So this is the Yukta Vairagya. So this is a Yukta Vairagya principle, devotional renunciation. Anasaktasya vishayan yataham upayanjataha nirbandha Krishna sambandhe Yukta Vairagyam uchyate. Things should be accepted for Lord's service and not for one's personal sense gratification. If one accepts something without attachment and accept it because it is related to Krishna, one's renunciation is called Yukta Vairagya. So this is our practical application of devotional service, that whatever one has, whatever one possesses, it can be talent, it can be skill, it can be wealth, it can be fame, beauty, whatever, can be used in the service of Krishna. So we're coming back, if we really see the activities or what we are caught up is maybe sense gratification. So there is some kind of happiness we derive from sense gratification. But as the degree one perform bhakti, that will reduce. So in Bhagavad Gita also we say, param drishtva nivartate, that one has to develop a higher taste. Similarly, one has to derive some kind of happiness from devotional service. If you perform devotional service, it is awarded automatically. One doesn't have to endeavor. So the first is auspiciousness or Sudarbha. What is it? Subhadra, like? Shubhada, sorry. So the auspiciousness is given, which is also a kind of a relief moment for a devotee. So when everyone can relate to this, that the moment we come into devotional service is just like you're just walking into a AC room from a scorching sun. We find a relief. Oh, such a relief. But that's the initial stage, because we just got a place where, or we got something which is higher from what we used to do, or that relief is there for a devotee. Cooling, soothing relief. As one gradually progress, so it's given, example is given, like for example, we see that we get into a flight, right? And then we just took off from a runway. So everything, we are not on the ground. So we are not on the level, we are in a different level. We feel a little bit happy that we are on above. Then once you go up, all the things becomes very insignificant. All these buildings and lands. And then you go further up, you can't even see. Become non-existent, like doesn't exist because you can't see. It's like cloud and not very clear definition. But the same thing was there when you are in the floor, in the ground, you see things. Then you took off, you know that you are not part of that, you are in a different dimension. Then you go on a different level, you see very insignificant, and then on the top level, it doesn't exist. So this is compared to like a sense gratification for a devotee. When you just begin your devotional service, you just took off. So you can identify that yourself different or superior to this sense gratification. I am superior. This sense gratification is not what makes me. Then you are going little bit higher, it becomes very insignificant. Oh, this is very insignificant. I don't have to do that. Then at a stage where there is non-existent means it's not there only. So that's the highest stage of devotional service. So similarly, there are stages given of one is how compared and what level. So here Prabhupada gives a comparison here. When one is allured by material possession, they are considered to be given by Maya. But when one uses material possession fully for service, they are considered God's gift or facilities offered by Krishna for enhancing one's devotional service. So Prabhupada here explained, possessing material opulence is always fearful. How we can come out of this fearful situation is, we should understand that these things are given by Krishna. So then we have to ask ourselves, whom we want? We want Krishna or what Krishna is offering? And Krishna is offering because he is facilitating our desire. So here Krishna, then one may say, okay, fine, I don't want sense gratification, I want only Krishna. Okay, well, good, that's a good start. So get ready for the test. So then Krishna is going to give you more. How are we going to say no to Maya and say yes to Krishna? So that's how we progress. So this is a gift. So we see as material opulence as God's gift if we use in Krishna service. Otherwise it's a gift from Maya so that we can able to stay here comfortably in this material world, life after life. So this is a Lord is tempting here the small boy, Prahlad Maharaj, and he passed the test because he know exactly what he wanted. He's saying, I don't want this. I don't want this. I just want your service. I want to make sure that everyone is liberated. So he is fixed in Bhakti Yoga. So similarly, we have an opportunity where we can able to fix ourselves in Bhakti Yoga, especially this month of Kartik, and try to enhance our sadhana a little bit more oriented, Vyavasatmika Buddhi, where you actually wanted to go or what you wanted. So I'll stop here, see if anyone has any correction or comments. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the wonderful class. Prabhuji, you mentioned on how this verse is talking about how the material opulences are considered as impediments on the path of bhakti. But Prabhu, when Lord Krishna bestows those opulences on us, wouldn't it be the other way around? Because you'll have so much opulence that you won't have to endeavor, go to work for a living. You can give much more time to bhakti than what you would do previously.
Yeah, that's true. If you use everything in a proper way, then you don't have to do. Prabhupada said, all you need is a cow and a small land. That's all. To live happy. But people think, that's a very primitive way of living. So you want more. No one wants to do austerity. Who is there ready to do simple living, high thinking? No one wants to do. So when Krishna gives, right, He's giving everything. If you use, okay. If Krishna find out that you are not using properly, so Krishna has another name called Hare, one who takes away. So He will take everything away. Right? So Prabhupada always quotes this. He gave special mercy. First He took everything from Prabhupada, right? Then He gave everything to Prabhupada. Both the time He remained the same. So it's good. So if we are desiring material opulence and it's not coming, we should understand it is not good for my bhakti. Right? So Krishna knows whom to give, whom not to give. So the more we use in Krishna service, Krishna will give more. Right? So simple. So yeah, if you have everything, if you don't want to, you can do full-time service, you don't want to go to job, well, good, fine. So do that. No, if you want to go, see, basically it's a duty also is there. Many things are there. According to Varnashram they act. So as long as they can able to remember Krishna, they can able to serve Krishna, it's fine. No problem.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you for the class. I have this question. How do we know that God is happy with His devotees? For instance, if we look back at the story of Srila Prabhupada, he struggled a lot like with finances and detachment from his family. So does it mean that if God is happy with His devotees, His devotees has to struggle a bit, or sometimes we say that you are blessed by God that you have so much wealth or beauty, or you are so much opulent. So how do we figure it out?
See, you have to understand that the Lord is always pleased with His devotees, right? And the devotees are always pleased with the Lord. But in order to perform, in order to give the teachings, the Lord chooses His devotees to put into difficulties, right? Because He's His man. So a life of a devotee, the Pandavas, the great devotees are put into like this difficulty. So two things will come. The general populace will get the lesson. Even though they are going through so much of difficulty, still they remain as a devotee. Why? Because I protect them. They do not fear. Second, the devotee are glorified. Right? So it's like when the coal is under pressure, it becomes diamond, like that. So the devotees are glorified. So in Bhagavad Gita also there is an example given. The Lord is like a diamond, the devotees are like the gold ring. A diamond set in a gold ring, right? Diamond also look good, the gold ring also enhanced. So similarly, when the devotees are gone through so much of difficulty, they are glorified. Everyone glorifies them. Why Prabhupada is being glorified? Because it's not a cakewalk for him. right? It's not like easy. Just traveling, imagine traveling 36 days or something in a cargo ship. That itself put off many people, right? We will not be able to do that. So still one has done that for the pleasure of Krishna, for his Guru. So it becomes very much, glorified. It's like a spotlight. Yeah. So that's how we have to understand.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the nice class, Prabhu.
Thank you.
So I had a question that, like sometimes practically we see some new people come and they take to chanting of the rounds and then they get a lot of opulences and then they leave and then we don't see them. So I was just wondering that will they eventually come back? Because there's another verse in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam. Sorry, I'm not good with verses, but it says that no matter what your desires are, whether you want liberation or, I think it talks about Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, you worship the Lord. So, would they, so because they are worshipping the Lord, and it looks like they're not worshipping for pure devotional service, because once they get opulence, they don't come back. So then, but because of that other verse, does that mean that they will come back at some point in the future because they worship the Lord?
See, that's why. See, they have come to the Lord for a certain purpose, and the purpose is fulfilled, and they're left. Right? So the next stage is they should become inquisitive. That's why Prabhupada in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, what is that? Artha jignasu jnanicha bharta sabha. Right? 4 kinds of people come. Out of them, the best is jnani, because he doesn't want anything in return. He wants to know about the Lord. And then if you see the distress and the one who want, in between they put the inquisitive. Because if someone is coming there with the distress and his distress is gone away, or someone is coming want of money or wealth and is gone away, the next stage is he will become inquisitive. Hey, I went to that place and everything solved. Some mystical thing is there, I should go again. Or he will tell other person, I went and prayed, I got the money. I went and prayed, my distress gone, you also go. So they have to, little bit inquisitiveness there. Because why? Because Krishna says, oh yes, even if you have desire, no desire, you come. But along Krishna giving, he also purify. So one has to be, good enough or continue to withhold that purification. So in order to happen that, he has to continue. So that stage of, I want something should change to, I want to know what is there. So that has to come. That by the mercy of the devotee, that will come like that. Then he will say, okay, I want to know about Krishna. Then he will take up the devotional process. So whatever is done is okay. But Krishna is saying, okay, you have come to me, stay with me. Stay there. That's why Krishna is saying, Bahunam janmanam ante jnanamam param prapadente. After many, many, many life, one come to that stage. So every day come, they go, it's fine. But still, they are coming to Krishna. That's why Krishna is saying, oh, you are great souls. Because you chose me. You would have gone to Devata, you could have gone to many people, but you have come to me, so I will take care. So it's like when they come to Krishna, they get it whatever they want. Along with that, their heart will get purified. That Krishna will do it. That will take time. Krishna will do. Only thing is that many people think, oh yeah, do it in an anesthetic way, like don't make me so much painful. remove all the things in a very subtle way. But Krishna has his own way of removing things. So they are coming, that's good. So we have to enhance, we have to see how we can move on to the next stage of making them inquisitive to know about devotional service or know about Krishna. So that skill or that one that a devotee has to identify. He has to fan that spark. Okay, this person is coming because he wanted something. Once that finish, he'll go. So you have to see which is the next one. You have to make them inquisitive. Make them understand something more is there. So you have to wait for that opportunity and, So that's why preaching is there, right? That's a preaching.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Okay, last one, yeah.
Hi Krishna. I find that I prefer to do services that are in accordance with my nature and circumstances, and I'm noticing that I don't have desire to learn or take up services which are outside of that my nature and circumstances. So I was just thinking that is it something that I should pray that I develop desire to do other services, or is it that I just continue with how things are and just stay in that comfort zone and that's fine? Yeah.
So you have to obviously, you can speak to your spiritual master and check some services and speak to the temple authorities or something. Most of the time, we don't get what we want to do in Krishna consciousness, right? It's of course you will find a way to do what you want to do in Krishna consciousness, but still one has to do other services also at the time of need or something. So I've heard it's like if we are attached to the service, then it's more like a karma yoga. I like to do certain things I want to do and give it to Krishna. It's like a kind of a nishkam karma yoga. But we are performing bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga means our focus is pleasing Krishna. It could be any service, right? Of course, we are not, our enthusiasm is there, but without the skill and without the confidence, it will be a disaster. We should learn and do. But at the end of the day, our bhakti yoga means, okay, whatever service I will do, but it has to please Krishna. But if you're saying, I will only do garland service because that is my skill set, so that means we are not doing proper bhakti. Because you are not attached to Krishna, you are attached to service. If someone, we do some, like for example, do the guest reception, or do the, some vegetable cut-up. No, I will not do. Because, I will only do garland service. If you give me garland service, so that means we are putting a lot of condition, right? If and but. So that means that is not pure devotional service. So we have to do certain, what is the need, what is the need of the organization, or what is the need of the temple, or need of the department, whatever. And we do that. At the same time, we also balance it out with what I like to do as well. But that to get right thing, we take the guidance. So either the spiritual master or the authority who is giving service. So that's how we know it goes well. At the end of the day, because we have to do some service. Suppose we want to do only one service which I like to do, right? Then we will miss out the opportunity of service. Right? So many opportunity comes, we don't take it. We think, it's okay. It's not mine. So that is not, because in bhakti, how it works is, it's not a result-oriented job or something. Like you get it success, you've done it done. That we, our endeavor to effort and we be there to do willingness, our sincerity and effort counts, not our result and talent. So if you are sincerely want to do, and we put a lot of effort in the service, that's all. Because at the end of the day, when we go back, we are happy. Even though, it may not be like a perfect, right? But still, we put our endeavor and everything. So, that comes naturally for a devotee when he is willingness to do. So this is called service attitude. A service attitude is not choosing what service, he is just choosing what is needed, that's all. When a person is that way, then he will progress. Otherwise, he is just performing nishkama karma yoga, kind of yoga. It's of course it's also bhakti, but it's not the pure, or it's not the expected,
Thank you.
Yeah. So when perform, that's why Rupa Goswami also mentioned and stresses this point that all this regulative principle, the 64 items of devotional service, has to be performed under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, and the spiritual master actually engages in the sadhana. Sadhana bhakti means he actually engages the disciple in the service. So we can speak to the spiritual master, we can speak to your whoever, our mentors or counselor or temple authorities or whatever, who is giving service. We can speak to them and see what is there, and then balance it out.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. We'll stop here. Thank you very much. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai.